Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day regardless of the bleeding account I'm sure you have with SUI, because you either did or did not listen to the recommendation to close your longs. Again, this is not a told you so by any stretch, but I have a lot of thankful members that were able to close early, which is good. So congrats to you on that. Once again, this descending trend line, it's respecting the descending trend, even though we have a macro ascending trend that still has yet to be broken, and we're generally bullish in the overall sense. We cannot mistake the obvious inclination that the price action is going to continue lower as Bitcoin is retesting 60K and might even run towards 57. So all that being said, we are likely going to basically redraw some important levels here. We're still discovering our A here, basically our first wave down. Once we hit our bottom, the likelihood of the price recovering to a next fib level is fairly high, and then one more leg down would make sense from there, just considering how we've already kind of ran through our expansive wave. There's a lot of reasons why further downside makes sense for this coin. It's just, like I mentioned before, it's a highly profitable coin. Those are the coins that are usually the first targets when the price of Bitcoin pulls back. And look at this here. It's probably the reddest coin in the market today, at least so far, down 5%, higher than majority of other coins, only down about 1 or 2%. So just kind of prefacing, letting you know, don't be stubborn and foolish when all the signs are there. I know I said previously the price is going to pull back, which it did, but it gave us one last leg up. You can't get it right all the time, but at this point, the truth is we have a lot of bearish divergences, and the overall sense here is that SUI is finally pulling back with Bitcoin, and it's actually a good sign. We want to see this here because it's healthy, allows us to get that natural consolidation, that lower price point, to allow for the next leg up to be more substantial. But I got news for you folks. I'm not just saying this today. I've been kind of mentioning this for a while. SUI is strong and as great of a coin as it is. $3, $5, $10. Some people are saying that we're going to see this year. I think that's really nonsense. Okay. And again, if you're watching people that are telling you that, they probably don't know a heck of a lot about trading. And this coin has made some major moves, but for it to continue at this point, at this same rate of return in the immediate future, in light of everything that's going on, it makes no sense at all. Okay. So the reason why I want to say that is because we have a ton of liquidation on the downside. This is just kind of market makers 101 stuff, that they push the price to these levels, these pain points for a lot of people. Because right now, a lot of folks are starting to stress. They should have taken profit and they didn't. Or they keep taking longs at lower levels and keep getting raked over the coals. It's nonsensical to continue to buy the dips on this coin just based on the simple fact that it continues to retrace. Okay, and again, it's overextended. It makes sense to pull back. A lot of reasons why you want to respect and wait for the bottom to come in. I know you're probably trying to think too, like, what the heck? How do I know when the bottom is in? Well, a lot of times it's based on key level supports, Fibonacci retracement levels, and majority liquidation getting swept first. So that does imply 160 is on the docket to get potentially hit hard. We got 160 has the most amount of liquidation in the immediate future. I think 140 is a little egregious. We may not see that. We'd have to break our ascending trend line first to see that, but it's still a possibility, so don't rule it out. Okay, so again, I'm not bearish on this coin by any stretch, but all the signs are there. Bitcoin is soon to lose 60,000. It's running towards it right now with this bear flag breakdown. We break through this here, we're going to see a bad day for a lot of coins, and we're right there on the edge of disaster. So be very careful taking long positions right now. Just not the market for it. Okay, so SUI, what are we looking at here? Well, still on the descending trend line, and we can see that reflected on smaller time frames. The daily time frame does tell us here that we're still over 50 on the RSI. That's positive. MACD is diverging. That is generally construed as a negative sign. Stochastic pulling back. Money flow index is still above the price action, which is generally favorable. What this is telling us is this tells us that people are still buying the dip, which is kind of good. But you got to recognize the reason the price action is moving down is because people that not people, that like the entities or whatever you want to call it, they have so much stinking money they can move the price action down. So right now people think it's still a good value to buy when the truth is it's not. So just be very careful in taking a long position right now. I'm sure I'm going to eat my words. The price will probably just instantly jump up tomorrow, and it's a good coin for that, right? But when Bitcoin's running, you don't generally take a long into any kind of coin. We're now officially testing this ascending trend line. We're close to the 20 SMA. So again, as I mentioned previously, we closed below 190. We'll probably see a run towards 180. That's already happened. Now that we're testing this key level here, 178, we close below that, I think we're going to see more downside, and 160, 140 is immediately on the table because of that. Okay, so again, a lot of this is under the impression that Bitcoin is going to continue to run and drop its bottom. Once that happens, it's going to be a very bad day for a lot of folks, including you if you have a long position with this coin. So I'm not trying to get you to run for the hills and to think that the sky is falling. This coin could very well still hold this range. And we look at the macro point of control here for the local range. At least ever since we've been at September 23rd, that's about 3 weeks ago, roughly, 160 or higher. Ever since we've been in the 160 or higher range, we see the most amount of accumulation at 175 to 170. So that should be a support level for us, right? Because again, everybody's buying at that level. That's more than likely going to be the open interest for this coin right now. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. We lost 50 on the RSI. That's bearish divergence. Money flow index is super low, so money is flowing away from this coin. That's usually an indication to sell. Stochastic is swinging down, or bottomed out rather, and we can see MACD is still diverging. There's absolutely no reason to take a long position with this coin. Hourly time frame is going to reflect the same thing. I don't even need to look at it to know that this is giving us every single indication to not take a long position, and that you're going to be finding more success shorting this coin right now. And I would much rather just kind of err on the side of caution and advise not to short this coin. We shorted this coin recently and the price just shot up out of nowhere because Bitcoin decided to pump on a weekend, which is kind of rather odd. Anyways, I don't think we're going to see a pump from Bitcoin. If we do, I really don't think SUI is going to see anything. We're not going to see anything monumental, right? It'll probably just come up to retest this descending trend line and come back down again, just based on the overall sense of things. So please be careful trading this coin. That's a simple understanding here. There's nothing here telling us that buying a dip is a good idea. If you want to kind of understand where to buy a dip, I mean, as far as long considerations are concerned, more so like a spot bag, the key levels, as we discussed, between 170 and 175. Okay, so maybe just average it out. This fib level here, 172, maybe a good DCA target. Same thing about 160 as well, because generally speaking, when these areas of liquidation are swept, the price will recover instantly. Okay. So I think 160 would be a pretty safe bet here for a dollar cost average target for a spot bag, not a blind 100x leverage long position. Do not do that. That is foolhardy and absolutely idiotic. Okay, I'm just gonna call it how it is. No need to sugarcoat it. If you got people, watching somebody else too telling you to buy this dip, be very careful. Be very careful trusting them, because for the most part, from a technical standpoint, we don't see any reason why this is going to hold. We got to give it a chance to hold. It's a support range for a reason, but I think just blindly buying into it when everything is bearish in the market makes no sense at all. So I would recommend waiting for Bitcoin to find its bottom first, and then maybe consider along with SUI. And I really don't think 60,000 is the bottom for Bitcoin right now. It just doesn't have that feeling right now. Okay, all right, I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. Thanks again so much for watching, and always hitting the like button. And if you find benefit, obviously love to hear it. Comment below. Feel free to reach out. Cryptocash.tech is a site where you can message me, and or just more important, really just help kind of become a better trader. I have a trading academy, community, and signals group, so if you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I hope you have a good rest of your day though. Thanks again for your time. We'll see ya.